So we were at a Huiamurangi meeting up the coast, east coast, and we went out to have a cup of tea, and in our break, and Archbishop Brown Ture approached me and said, asked me, would I be interested in chaplaincy? And I said, not really. He said, would I like to be the chaplain of Hokereri Girls College? And I said, nope. And he says, he thought I'd be a very good one. And I said, no, I barely outlived my own children's teenage years, and I didn't really want to have much more to do with teenagers anymore. So he didn't, we quietened down and we finished our morning tea, and I'm talking away to everybody else, and he's still sitting there, and he says, well, would you consider it? And I still, much to his dismay, said no, not really. And we were due to go back in again, the hui, and he said, would I just give it a little try and just see how it, if I just have a little go? And I said, oh, all right, I could think about it. Suppose. I was really reluctant. And then we went in and we opened the meeting to begin again. He said, oh, we now have a new chaplain of the Hokereri Girls School, and that's Rev'd Dinah Lambert. And that's how I came to be the chaplain there. And that sort of eventually fed down to being chaplain out here at Te Aute College. A few years before Te Aute, God had shown me, just in my mind, in a time of reflection after praise and worship together with a little group that we had of priests, etc. Just on my mind's eye, I saw like a steeple of a church, a sort of cross, and it was amongst some trees, and I knew I got a bird's eye view, if you like, looking almost down on it and around it, and all I could see was, I knew it was a church, I knew it had trees around it, I knew it was on a sort of rise or a hill, etc., but I didn't know where it was. And I'd said to my colleagues afterwards, oh, guess what I saw? And I told them, this is what I believe God was showing me. And we all sort of, oh yeah, okay, sounds like a church. Oh yeah, sometimes God shows you things like that, and that was it. I left it. But several years later, and I was now Reverend Sandon died, and I was now the chaplain here, after Bishop Brown asked me if I would come to Te Aute and continue here. So I've moved into the house next to the chapel, and it's been a few weeks. And one of those colleagues said to me, come up to the hill above the house and let's go for a walk. Oh, okay, toddled off. We get up there and she said, have another look. What are we looking at? So I'm looking around, and she said, do you remember when God showed you something one day and you were telling us about it after we'd been praying together, etc.? And I said, oh yeah, I saw that. And she said, do you think this is it? Oh. So I had to now have another look. The aha moment came, wow, yeah, this is it. Because I think if God had shown me, it just happened, I would have just dug my toes in. Whereas I think God has a way of showing me things, and with me anyway, and gives me time to think about it. Probably otherwise I'd just say no. but it was, yeah, and how wonderful that He showed me that way. So that it was God-given, and in God's timing, it all came together.